son. Let me check. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? I think you can hear me now. Neville, can you hear me? There he is. Hello, big man. Yes. Have I been muted? Have I got all these viewers just listening to me muted? I can't believe that. I must look amazing, because if everyone's been watching me, I've got all these viewers, and you've just been listening to nothing. You've been watching my lips move. Welcome to the show. I hope you could hear me, but on my system, I can see that my mic was not working. It must be too cold. But anyway, welcome to the Christmas show, guys. I'm going to have to go and edit it out. I mean, 15 minutes of the show I'm going to have to cut off later on. And yeah, hopefully, you can just skip along. But welcome to the show. It's Christmas Eve. Hope you're doing well, guys. And hope you're enjoying some time off work. Some time where you can actually relax and enjoy the holiday period and enjoy United tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? No, it's on Boxing Day. Boxing Day, United play against Newcastle. It's going to be a very, very interesting game. We've got Ruben Amorim's press conference also to watch and go through, so we'll go through that in a short while. Let's first go to the comments. We've got Sandil, welcome to the show, mate. Hope you're doing well. Gallagher, Atletico don't want him. The last time I checked, PSG didn't want Ugarte, and we went, but with him with 50 mil. Yeah, there is that. If Zertsky takes 65 mil of Semenyo and we can go and buy Anderson for 90 million. Players don't want to come under Amorim. He's useless, and we need one of our key targets. Atletico are still using Gallagher frequently, mate. They've been resting him a lot because the potential transfer, but he scored twice and got assist in the last 3 appearances. Then Neville says, dude, we are never getting Anderson in January. There's no point even discussing that. It won't happen. It'll be Gallagher or Neves or possibly Baleba, but Gallagher is cheaper, younger and better. Hope you're right, mate. And then we got Neville says, not coming from the Camel League with only Wolves as his Premier experience, played for a huge club and moved to another one. How can he be a solid squad player for Chelsea and Atletico but not us? Travis is muted. Yeah, okay. Brilliant. Okay, so first of all, let's park the new signings for a minute. Let's park the Gallagher and the other signings. Let's first talk about Semenyo, okay? So Semenyo, my 15 minutes of complete muteness, you were... either you guys are very good at rip leading and you were just going along with what I was saying. But anyway, Semenyo deal fell through yesterday, unfortunately, guys. Last night, got the news. It went all over social media. Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, and the usual suspects all telling us how Semenyo had chosen to join Man City over Man United. And then we got the usual suspects leaking news that Man United had refused to disrupt their wage structure and offer Semenyo what he wanted. That's what we were told. I don't believe a single bit of that news. I really don't. I don't believe that actually happened. I believe United wanted him desperately, but he simply chose Man City over United. He went to the blue half of the city, and it's quite obvious why. Because players are mercenaries these days. They want to go with clubs that, number one, are winning trophies, number two, are more than likely to be financially capable of paying him more and more as the years go by. United currently, financially, are not that club. They're not what they used to be. And, well, trophies, we all know what's going on with United and winning trophies. Even Ruben Amorim, with his work, isn't getting the best out of this United team. He's not. And we are not that club anymore, unfortunately. So for me, Semenyo wasn't a shock. I was telling my viewers for some time, as soon as this news hotted up last week, where we were all talking about Semenyo at 65 mil release clause, and Man United are definitely in for him, and I said, look, calm down. hold your horses. Hold your bloody horses, guys. Sit back down again. Do not get carried away. Do not get carried away. Please, Man United fans, do not get carried away, because we know this is the smokescreen being put up there by Ineos. They want us to believe that they're going to go in there and sign every player that moves. And they want us to believe that they're still making these big moves for these big players. But unfortunately, we were never, ever close to signing Semenyo. Yes, we put our offer in there, but he had already told United that he did not want to join us. He didn't want to join us. If he wanted to join us, he would have done it in the summer, where he actually sat down and met with Ruben Amorim and heard what he had to say about Man United and the project that he was working on. And he wasn't convinced. He wasn't convinced, because some people were saying, well, no, it was because it was too late in the summer transfer window and he would have done something later on and United didn't make an offer. But I believe there was something behind the scenes that we were never told, hence why United never made a bid for Semenyo. But then we got this news of the 65 mil release clause in January in the first week or so. And then we were all thinking, yeah, Man United knew that if Semenyo wanted to join us, he could have quite easily said in the first couple of days, as soon as this news broke, that, look, yeah, January transfer window, I want to join Man United. Bang, there you go. He would never have gone and entertained any other offers from other clubs. He would never have agreed personal terms with other clubs. That's not a player that wants to join Man United. So I'm not upset. Some of you might be. Some of you might be upset about Semenyo news. I'm not upset. I know that we've got bigger problems at this club to sort out. And an attacking player is not going to solve the problems. We've got problems in the midfield. We need to go and sort them out. They are our number one priority problems. Not going and signing Semenyo. Yes, of course it would have been brilliant. And yes, of course it would have been nice. And he would have been the cherry on top of the cake. But right now, we ain't got no bloody cake. We ain't got a cake to put the cherry on top of. So there's no point getting Semenyo and bringing him in and saying, there you go, let's go and score more goals. But then we're going to give away more goals. It doesn't work. You can't have attackers scoring lots of goals and hoping that we're gonna concede less. We can't live on hope. We need to make sure that we've got the players building up from the back. We need that core. We haven't got a core. And I've said it to many, many times. Many viewers have agreed as well, which is every top team always has a solid core. When I mean a solid core, I mean a very good goalkeeper, one that can do the basics right. Definitely not an Onana. Senny Lemons fits the bill to some degree. He is lacking experience, but everything else I think he's got in abundance. Then we've got to have two very good centre-backs. Have we got them? No, we haven't. We haven't, unfortunately, got two very good centre-backs right now. Of course, if De Ligt is fit and then we've got Leacher back, maybe, just maybe, we can say we've got a very good centre-back pairing. Of course, if he's playing three at the back, then we need Mazraoui there. I think he ticks a box. Then you need them midfielders. You need two of the very best midfielders to go and win the Premier League. You cannot rely on Bruno Fernandes, who is a makeshift centre-mid, and Casemiro, who's got 1 foot in retirement. He is simply not in that position. He's not. Look, for me, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem that we've got with the midfield. The midfield is the problem. Beyond the midfield, I don't really care. We're scoring plenty of goals. It doesn't upset me. I feel like, yeah, every time we go forward, we can score goals. And Mbumo, Ahmad, we've got Kuna, Mount as well, stepping in now. I feel like we've got good players. However, when I'm talking about the core, I still feel like we're missing a striker. Now, mark my words, we're not going to be able to succeed with Sesko on his own. We're not. So stop this whole thing about Sesko and Sesko only. We cannot have that. We need more options off the bench. Ruben Amorim needs them. And look, I'm all for positivity and everything else. And I get some fans who say, look, Travis, chill out, mate. Chill out, Travis. Relax. It's going to all come good, and just have a bit of patience. And I'm not saying I haven't got patience, although sometimes when I'm watching United, I really don't have any patience. But I have got patience, but I'm also looking at the facts. I'm also listening to Ruben Amorim himself. Ruben Amorim himself, who says, we're not good enough. We're not playing well enough. I'm not doing well enough. He himself is saying, I'm not doing well enough. Ruben Amorim, he's telling everybody, I'm not playing well enough. The team's not doing well. My win rate's not good enough. And you guys need to accept this. Whereas we're kind of making up excuses for Ruben Amorim. We're making excuses for Ineos. Ineos don't deserve excuses. They've took over 2 years ago. Remember, Christmas Eve, we all heard it. It was the worst Christmas present ever, but we got it, didn't we? We got the news that Ineos had taken over the footballing side of things, and they're going to run things. And, well, they've done jack shit since then. They've done jack shit for the club because we've not improved. We've not improved. We've not gone anywhere better. We're not there competing for trophies now. We were in this position when Ineos took over. We weren't actually doing anything better. We weren't doing anything worse. We were somewhere in between. And then suddenly, we've got Ruben Amorim in play. And Ruben Amorim is a good manager. I do like him. However, he's not winning enough. He's not winning enough. And he's telling us that, look, my performance is not good enough. The players are simply not good enough. I need better players. Ineos need to pull their finger out. They need to go and get me these players. It's Ruben Amorim who's making these moves. He's the one who's saying, go and get me Semenyo. Go and get me so-and-so. Go and get me Blaber. Go and get me Anderson. Because he knows he needs players. And we haven't got them. Bruno Fernandes, Manu out for the Newcastle game. What are we going to do? He's saying all the right things, Ruben Amorim, saying, yes, we're going to go out there, we're going to play, we've got the players to still go out there and do a job, but God help us. Anyway, I'm going to go to the chat because lots of you have tuning in, so let's go and let's see what everyone's saying. And let's just go through it. I'm going to go back here a little bit. So if you're just joining us, I had 15 minutes of mute time, so I was chatting my whole spiel, but no one could hear me. And bless him, Sandil jumped on and he didn't even tell me. He jumped on and he just had a discussion via text or via comments with me and didn't tell me, Travis, I can't hear you. Seriously, them are the kind of viewers I love, right? Committed viewers. They'll sit there listening to me on mute for 15 minutes. And didn't care. I mean, that is something. I must have that screen presence. I must have. Anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe as well. It's lovely having you all here. So, yeah, Neville says, I've had too much time off work lately, but hopefully we have a good result Boxing Day. Interesting game is the word. Wounded squad right now, but we were pleasantly surprised against... Do you know what? What was upsetting for me with the Villa game was just simply that we were the better team. We were the better team. We deserved something out of that game. Villa did not look like, to me, a team that had won so many games. For me, especially. Jim, Niche, welcome, mate. Hope you're doing well. Enjoying your Christmas Eve. I've been chilling out, to be honest with you. I went out shopping last minute, went and got a few things, but then I've sat down, I watched a few movies, and I was planning to do an early morning show, and I thought, do I jump on and discuss Semenyo and bring everyone down? And I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I allow that. But let's be honest, we all, Niche, Jim, everybody who's on the channel constantly like you are, guys, you all know we on this channel have protected ourselves. So if you were watching the Man United stream channel, you were protected from all this garbage, all this smokescreen, all this gaslighting, because we were telling everybody, do not get taken in with this Semenyo deal. We're not in for him. We're not going to go in for him and offer him what he wants. Trust me, just do not get excited. And that is exactly what happened last night. So when the news broke about Semenyo, I wasn't surprised. I just sat there and said, yeah, okay, told you so. This is it. This is what we're now. This is the new Man United under Ineos. This is what we have to get used to. We can't be in for players when we haven't got any money, when we're skint, when we're completely living it large with zero money in our back pocket, right? That's what it feels like. You know, we're window shopping. That's what we're doing. We're window shopping. We look at the players, admire them, talk it up, talk about... Do you ever sit there and think what you would do if you won the lottery? What would you spend it on? And I do it as well. So I sit there and in my head, I think about what I'd do. Like I'd go and buy this car, I'd go and buy this house, and I spend quite some time. I know this is crazy, but I spend quite some time thinking in minute detail what I would do if I'd won the lottery. And that's what it's like being Man United fans right now. We're discussing, we're running ahead with where Semenyo would play and how many games he'd get and how many goals he'd get for Man United. We're just talking shit, guys. Semenyo was never going to be joining Man United, never interested, and United never had the money either to go after him and pay that money up, because United, of course, know that they're going to be pretty tight this January. We have to read between the lines. When Ineos come around and say to Amorim, you need to sit down and calm down. You need to tell the press that you don't need any players. You know, you're gonna promote academy players if you have to. And Ruben Amorim gave us that. He gave us that. He said, "Yeah, look, do you know what? I'm thinking we can cope with what we're going through right now. We have to go through this tough period." Absolute rubbish. Niche says, I want Neymar. I don't care anymore. He's a free agent. I just want him now so I can buy his shirt. Don't care about Amorim project. It's all bullshit. And Ineos, from Ineos. That's an interesting one. Niche says, I want Messi. He's 45 years old. Just get the shirt. Don't care. After Semenyo debacle, I think Niche has had enough. I think Niche sounds like he's just simply had enough of being gaslit. And Neville says, haven't got a cake, but put a cherry on top of Travis. Man United stream 2025 summed up the club in a nutshell, mate. If only these bloody owners back their man. Amorim literally wanted a left wing back and sent him in. This is why. Do you know what? I go as far as criticising Ruben Amorim, but I'm not going to call out for him to be sacked, because he's not been given the tools. He's not been given the players. I get pissed off. I kind of, especially when we lose, and I'm like, oh my God, what the F is going on here? We're just shit. We're this, we're that. This player's not playing right. Ruben Amorim's not making the right subs and this and that. But the reality is that this guy has been left out to dry by Ineos. They wanted a yes boss man. They brought him in there knowing full well he's going to back them and he's not going to speak out against them. And that's what's happening. That is what is happening. Jim says, I'm looking forward to seeing how we do without Bruno. We may be better. Now, that might be an unpopular opinion, he says. It's not probably an unpopular opinion, Jim, because I believe that there's lots of fans out there who've been waiting for this as well. And I think you'll be surprised. I think, look, Bruno Fernandes, yes, he's playing out of position, but he still offers, I feel, more to the team than we've got other players right now in that position. Yes, Kobe Mainoo can step in. Let's see what he can offer us. It's his chance. This is his chance. I keep saying it. This is his chance to show what he can do for United. Niche says Semenyo should have been gagging to come to the world's finest club, but due to complete and utter mismanagement, the club, we can't sell it anymore. Look, Semenyo, I think Sandil was saying it. I've met with a few others, people as well, and they've said, look, yeah, every African player wants to join Man United. It's a big thing out in their nations. Ghana, Ghanaians all want to play for Man United. That's how it goes down. Man United is and still is the biggest club in Africa. Yet he chose Man City. For me, it's just because, yeah, we're completely in disarray. And I was saying it to you guys a couple of weeks ago. I said we need to be winning these games and we need to be in them Champions League spots before January kicks in, because that's going to be our trump card to use with all the new signings. We're in the Champions League spots. We're in the Champions League. So if we can carry on playing the way we are, we're going to be in there next season. That is what we're offering to the new signings. And I think if we were playing good football right now, if we were actually cooking, if we'd won the games against Forest, against Spurs, against West Ham, against Everton, and we were up there in the second or third, believe you me, Semenyo would have had a really hard decision on his hands. He would have struggled. But right now, it's clear. He's looking at the clubs. He's looking at the way United are playing. He's looking at the way Man City are playing. Even despite the news or the rumours that Pep might be leaving, he still thinks, yeah, he's still got a chance to play for one of the best managers the league's ever seen. After Fergie, that is. But look, hats off to Pep. He is a top manager. And I guess he's looking at him thinking, I want to play for him. And Neville says, I love thinking if I won the lottery, I'd get 1,000 Cantona jerseys and buy whatever stock in United I could possibly. And of course, my wee mummy a house, lol. Nish says, Nish wanting Neymar and Messi for the shirts is so funny. Nish really said, let the cards fall wherever they may. Yeah, look, we've got to look at the bright side of things right now. I'm not upset about Semenyo. I hope you guys are not either. It was always a far-fetched dream for us. But do we actually need him? I think there were still question marks over, look, do we need him right now in this team? And I'm upset that we didn't get him in some regard, because I know, look, it would have added more to the team. Absolutely would have given us more options. But is he someone that I look at and think it's a must? It's a must signing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know what a must signing is, and I know everybody else who's watching right now will agree when I say we need a bloody midfielder. We need to stop these gates that have just opened up, and every time the opposition go through, they score. And it's not simply because we're playing two youngsters at the back in Lenny Euro and Haven. Yes, that adds to it. But if we had two out-and-out, very good centre midfield players in that team right now, I don't think we'd be conceding as many goals that we have been conceding. Bruno Fernandes gets caught high up the pitch, but that's his natural playing style. He wants to move forward. He wants to go and attack. He doesn't want to defend. And we've got Casemiro, who can't cover. He can't cover the entire defence, the entire midfield. In fact, he wasn't playing, and we saw Ugarte. Ugarte's leaving. Ugarte's gone in January. Zertsky, despite what Man United are saying, if Man United bring in the right players in January, if they can go and get a few players in, I think Zertsky's going to be allowed to leave. The only one who I look at and think they're probably not going to want to see leave is Menu. However, if Menu can push his way out, if he doesn't get enough game time whilst Bruno Fernandes is out, I think he could get a move out. But I really see this whole time now with Bruno Fernandes, he's out for, let's say, the entire January. It would be lucky if he comes back early Feb. And if that is the case, they're never going to let Kobe Manu go. They're never going to let him go. It'll be madness. It'll be madness from Man United unless they can go and sign someone like Gallagher and bring him in. Now, a few other names have been mentioned. Of course, we've got some attacking players that we're talking about, and there's rumours about United making a few a few contacts with signing a few more players out there. We know we're talking about Neves here as well. João Neves from Wolves is an option. Then we've heard Ruben Neves is an option, but I'm not convinced on Ruben Neves. I really am not. Diomande is another one that we're talking about. He is a very, very good young player. He is being scouted by many clubs, and he's another one that I'm looking at and telling you guys we're not going to be the only ones knocking on that door. It's going to be another Semenyo. We're going to knock on that door, and there'll be 3-4 other top clubs around Europe also in for him. So then we've got to have that selling point, that unique selling point. What have we got to offer as a club that you won't get elsewhere? And yes, we can point to our heritage and being a big club, but I feel like that is not going far enough anymore. It's not. And we've got to now have something else in place. Neville says Diomande is very exciting player, though that's Bundesliga Semenyo, but he's younger. Been watching him all season. He's a massive standout player. He is, but my worry is that he's playing in the Bundesliga. It's like playing in Serie A for me. Them two leagues for me, and I'd even throw La Liga in the same category, unfortunately, now. Because I feel like that's fell off as well. I feel like the leagues out of Premier League are just simply not up to standard. I think a Serie A, Bundesliga are definitely the players find it easier to play in them leagues. Højlund's gone there, and Højlund's kicking it for Napoli, and we all know he couldn't hit a barn door. That dude, he couldn't get anything. He couldn't get a goal for us. He was more suited to WWE wrestling than he was to playing football in the Premier League. But he's gone out in Serie A and he looks like a half-decent player. Same thing with Scott McTominay. Looks like a bloody, prime Zidane at times. And you're thinking, what? Is this the same McTominay that was playing for United? But it's the different leagues, guys. It is definitely the leagues. You get different types of players playing. You're playing against different defences. In the Premier League, you do not get the time to stand on the ball and see it out like that. And Neville says, mainly situation got even worse. I feel so bad for the kid. Not the media, but gaslighting the situation, but just the fact that Bruno gets injured, then he gets injured. Brutal. Diomande is a beast. Exactly. Every agent is going to want their top players, warn their top players off. Manchester United says Niche. Yeah. I mean, if you're an agent, you're negotiating with Man United and you're saying, yeah, okay, my player wants this. He wants assurances. He wants to make sure that you're moving in the right direction, that you're going to fund the club in the right way. The owners are invested in the club. But it's no secret, United, the owners are shit. Ineos don't know whether they're coming or going, right? Despite the fact that they portray themselves as, proper owners and they know what they're doing and they're not like the Glazers. That's an absolute lie. Absolute lie. Because the Glazers are still pulling the purse strings. This is why we can't get gaslit into thinking, oh, United have suddenly got huge amounts of money to go out and spend. We haven't. I was surprised that we even spent what we spent in the summer. But this January, we're being warned. We're being told, no, it's not happening. No, we're not going out and spending big. We've just allowed, obviously, Man City to go and sign Semenyo. I think if the old Man United, they would have boxed it off way ahead of the game. They would have done it way before it went out there that he's got. Why didn't we even know about the 65 mil release clause? That's what I'm talking about. I don't understand that one. If Ruben Amorim's making the effort of going and sitting down with this player and having lunch or whatever with him, why weren't we told by his agent that he's got this 65 mil release clause in Jan? Didn't make sense to me. I find that really, really shocking. And Neville says, absolutely, mate. Diomande is like a 20-year-old, though, and I don't know stats off the top of my head, but in recent years, Bundesliga is definitely the least risky. Yeah, I guess if I'm going for the leagues, Bundesliga is still an option. I mean, we signed Zertsky and Højlund from Serie A, and we know what they're like, right? Zertsky, to be fair, I don't think he's been given a full run-in. He's not been given enough game time to really judge him and say, look, he's been a player that's been, playing consistently for us, and he's been given game time and he hasn't performed. However, sometimes you've got to come in and you've got to hit the ground running, unfortunately, especially at Man United. You're either sinking or you're swimming at United. You can't come in and be asking for over more than a season at playing for United. That's the problem. Neville says, we have stopped trying to lowball clubs as well. We want to pay everything in disrespectful installments, whereas City will have offered it upfront and in 2 payments or something. Was never happening. Yeah, I heard that rubbish as well, Neville. I heard that. I heard the audacity that United had of offering the payment in installments. I can't remember what it was in installments, but it was something ridiculous, something so minute. And I thought, if you're turning up to buy a player and you're talking about paying things in installments and not agreeing maybe a fee of like $500,000 or $1 million, as a player, you're thinking, shit, these guys are seriously skint if they're talking about paying in installments. You don't want that. And look, City are the most stable club right now. From the Manchester clubs, they're the most stable club. And if you're a footballer and you're not a United fan and you're not a Man City fan and you just have to make that call, you will end up going to the more stable club, the one that will be able to afford to pay you and offer you a better salary. And I do not for one moment believe that Man United didn't offer him a huge salary. I believe Man United did try that. It just didn't work. Semenyo was, for me, was a line in the sand. We had to get him. Amorim basically loves him, gushing over him publicly, taking him out for dinner. Ineos gaslit Amorim. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, Nish, if that actually did happen. Because we saw Ruben Amorim literally, calling him out by name and saying he's their best player and he's a very special player. You only do that when you are looking to sign him and you're convinced he's going to join Man United. You do not do that when you know your rivals are going to sign a player like Semenyo. But again, I believe absolutely Ineos have sold Ruben Amorim those lies as well. They've told him, oh yeah, we'll go and get Semenyo. Yeah, don't you worry. You want Semenyo? Right, tick that off. You want Blaber as well? Okay, we'll get Blaber for you. Anybody else you want? You want any? We'll get all these players for you. Don't worry, Ruben. You just carry on doing what you're doing, and we'll go and sign him. And then behind closed doors, they're like, you won't believe what he's asked for again. He's asked for Semenyo as well. What a bloody idiot! He's asked for Semenyo, and he wants Blaber as well, and he wants Anderson. Yeah. Throw that in the bin. Throw that in the bin. Let's get rid of it. That's what it's all about. That's what they want. But anyways, let me go to the comments. Semenyo was So just get Neymar. I want some glamour in that the club. I know you're pulling my leg here. You're pulling my leg because no way can we look, we can't sign the simple players. Yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah, and I think he might even come. But look, Ineos have got a plan in place, and their plan is simply not to spend any money. They don't want to pay high salaries. They don't want to pay high fees. They just want players for next to nothing. They want cheap players, and they want them in on shitty contracts. And yeah, that's their way of working forward for this entire transfer window. Come January, we're going to get shafted. Ineos are not going to spend big. They are going to probably go and sign someone like Gallagher, I believe. If you're asking me what will happen by the end of January, this is my prediction. I'm telling you, this is how it's going to happen. We're going to get Gallagher. He's going to come in. We're not going to go for anybody else. We're going to probably bring in one other player, maybe in the right or left wing back position. That's what we're going to do. So them are our two signings. We're not going to go out there and cover ourselves and get two centre mids, because this is Ineos, the cheapskates. They're going to go and sign one midfielder and then one right or left wing back, just in case Ahmad can't play and Dalot, of course, is not fit or something. That's what they're going to do. That's what I believe Ineos will do, and they're going to call it a day. And they're going to say to everybody else that this is great business. This is the part of the plan. We've always wanted to do this. There was, Semenyo? No, we weren't after Semenyo. What? Belabor? Nah, give it a rest. We were not after Belabor. It was just all made up. And Anderson and Wharton, well, they're going to sit there, and Ineos are going to want and wish for other clubs to come in and take them before the fans start demanding that we go and sign someone like Anderson or Wharton. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be wishing. They're going to be sat there in their dark rooms, hiding away, Ineos and the board, and they're going to be saying, please Liverpool, please Chelsea, please Arsenal, please City, come in and sign Anderson, come in and sign Wharton, because we haven't got the money to spend, but we can't go out in public and tell them that. We can't go out in public and say we haven't got money to spend. So this is it. This is going to be the big test for me, and I've been saying it to you guys many times before. I've said it to you, and I keep saying it. For me, the biggest test is in the transfer window. That's when you can start judging Ineos, and you can start judging the ownership in the Glazers, because that's when they come in to their positions and they get to prove their worth to the fans. And I believe that they're going to do a classic job on all the fans. They're going to talk it up, and then there'll be sections of fans who will be happy to be gaslit. They'll be happy to accept one signing which kind of meets their criteria but doesn't really meet what we need. Now, Ruben Amorim, when he talks to the press and he gives his pressers, he's actually talking to the board as well. So when he says, I don't want a makeshift, a stopgap signing, I want players to join Man United who are the future of the club. That's what he's saying. And he's trying to send a message to the board. He's trying to send a message to Jim Ratcliffe. He's trying to say to the Glazers, you need to pull your fingers out and you need to go out there and sign these players that are actually going to make a difference to Man United. I don't want to sign bit part players who are going to come in, stall, start, don't really make a difference to United. They might sit on the bench and do jack shit for us. That is the difference. For me, that is crucial. For me, that is what Ruben Amorim is trying to tell us, and we need to see that, and we need to put more pressure on Ineos and say, you need to go out and sign players. It's all good and well talking about Diomande, talking about all these young top players, but let's be realistic. He's going to be another Semenyo. And there's also, obviously, the likes of Wharton and Anderson. We're not going to get them in January. No way are we. But even if we come into the summer, even then, it'll be a struggle. It'll be a struggle if we haven't had the best of seasons. If we're not in the Champions League positions and we're not playing Champions League next year, that's where we are scuppered. This is why I was literally begging United to go and win these games, get into those Champions League spots, and then really go and spend big in the January transfer window. We are desperate for new players to add to this squad, which is very, very thin, and simply haven't got enough players to go out there and do the job against teams that we should quite easily be winning against. Nish says, Wharton to Madrid, Anderson to City, I guarantee it. I wouldn't be surprised, Niche. I would not be surprised. We haven't got that pulling power anymore. And Semenyo is the first of many if we do not improve. If we do not get into the Champions League spots, Semenyo is the tip of the flipping iceberg. There's lots more players to come in, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to look at United and what they have to offer, and they're going to say, we'll give it a miss, thank you. We've got to get used to this. We might as well get used to this. And I'm surprised that there's fans out there who are having a complete meltdown about Semenyo not joining United and saying, oh, it's Semenyo who's shit and he's this. And stop it, guys. Stop it. Let's wake up and look at ourselves. 2 years of Ineos. What have they done to improve this team? What have they done? How many players have they signed that you can say, hand on heart, they're world-class signings and they would have gone to every other club out there? And we've competed against the very best to go and get them. We've outbidded other clubs. This was the test. Semenyo was our first test. We've failed to convince him. And when I mean we failed, I mean Ineos failed. I mean the Glazers failed. They're the ones who are running the club. They're the ones who've got the people working behind the scenes. It's not Ruben Amorim's fault. Ruben Amorim's just giving them his shopping list. He's saying, I need this, this, this. Can you go out and get it for me? If you want me to do this job, it's like a builder. He turns up to your house and says, right, you want me to do this? You want me to build this for you? Right, okay, I will need this, 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 this. I need all this material. You need to go out and get it for me. And then I'll do the job for you. I'll build the wall, I'll build the house, or build the extension, or whatever you want. I'll do it for you. But you need to go and get me all these materials. He gives that list to the owners. The owners walk off with that list and you never see him again. The builder's standing there thinking, right, okay, I haven't got anything to build with. So I'm just standing here. I'm waiting and waiting. That's the difference. That is the problem we've got. We've got Ruben Amorim who is giving his list to the owners saying, I need this. If you want me to build this club back up again, you want me to start winning things, I need all these ingredients. I need all these materials. I need all these players. And the owners are simply not giving him what he needs. We needed that centre mid. He told us himself that I need centre mids. I need centre mid to bring in and sort this team out. And we failed him. The first full summer transfer window that he had, we failed him. We failed him. And it will come out, guys. It will come out. If he leaves or if he gets sacked by the end of the season and things don't work out and Ruben Amorim leaves, sooner or later we'll find out what happened. Just like we did with all the other managers that have come and gone. And they've all criticised United in their own way and what they thought was the problem. We had Ralph Rangnick actually do it whilst he was still part of United. The guy had some huge balls on him to turn around in the press conference and say United needed open heart surgery. And what he meant by that is the owners need to go. The owners need to get out of here. So his days were numbered, and of course, he was never gonna see the inside of Carrington or Old Trafford after he said that. And he says Semenyo is the best winger in the Prem. That's why I wanted him. Exactly. Semenyo was the first real test. We failed. Niche says it's like a builder saying, build me a house, and then pointing out a pile of rubble in the corner, and they say, use that. Absolutely, Niche. Thank you for that analogy. Yes, that's exactly it. What we're saying to him is, go and build something, but we've got all this leftover crap that has come in and been used, doesn't actually work well. We know it doesn't work because we've tried it and tested it, and these players haven't done the job that we've asked them to do. But can you do something different? Can you make them work? Can you make it work? Can you use this shit material and still do a good enough job? I can't wait for it to come out. It's obvious he's not being backed. He's not being backed. He's not being backed. And by the end of January, we will know fully 100% if he is being backed or whether Ineos are doing what they've always done, which is just talk up the game and never really come with the proof. Now, if you look carefully at Nice, the club that Ineos have been running, the club out in League One, and if you see what they've done with that club and how many managers they've gone through back and forth, sack this manager, next manager, sack that manager, next manager, sack that manager, next manager, sack. They've done that so much. That is why now I look at Man United and I think that surely they're not going to change their spots. They're going to stay the same. This is the same Ineos that have been running Nice and running it into the ground, not being able to make a success of that club. And I think they're going to do the same with United. Sandil says, Amorim said he only play a 3-4-3, but now he doesn't have wing-backs. If you understand your system, you will change to 4-4-2, have a back four and attack with wingers and 2 in front and 2 midfield. It's going to be, that's why I think Sandil, this is another big question mark on the Newcastle game on Boxing Day. And now I won't be doing a watch along. I might be actually going to the game, guys. I might be actually going to the game. So I will unfortunately not be doing a watch along, but I will hopefully come back to you the next day. And it's Boxing Day. And I thought, look, holidays and everything else, I'm going to go and watch the game. See how it goes. It's not going to be the perfect game to go to, but I got tickets and, I'm going with a few friends and I thought, why not, right? Let's go and support the team. Let's go and cook and hopefully we can see. If we play anything like we did against Villa, we might have a chance. But of course, we're going to be without some very big players. Nish says if we had got a Semenyo, I'd say he was being backed, but Chelsea and Liverpool, City, Chelsea and Liverpool all wanted him. All for other players apart from Euro weren't being contested by other clubs. Yeah, I mean Euro. When I was saying it, I was saying that. Do you know what the one player that I remember that we actually fought for against another big club was Lenny Euro, and that was Real Madrid. But I've heard after that Real Madrid actually didn't make a full bid for him or didn't actually come in for him. They liked Lenny Euro. They wanted to make a move for Lenny Euro, but they didn't actually make that final move. Hence why United came in and Lenny Euro accepted it, and he's come to United. But if Real Madrid come in again is the big question, whether they come in once he's improved as a centre back and he's become the player that many people feel that he is going to be. Nish says you deserve a break from streaming. Enjoy the game. Yeah, mate. I thought I'll go down and see, because sometimes when you're watching it live, it gives you a different insight. Now, I've missed quite a few home games as well with United. I normally go down. But then again, I'll miss doing the stream, because doing the stream is something really different now. Because normally it's only me on my own thinking what I'm thinking about United. And I'm thinking, oh, he's not playing right and that player's not playing. But when I've got everyone else also discussing it with me and we're going through it, I think it makes a change. It makes you realise, everyone's looking at the game exactly the same way. We can all see that this formation is struggling. We can all see certain players not pulling their weight, not doing the job that's required of them. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I want to thank you for everything that you've done in this year. Obviously, we're coming up to the end of the year and it's Christmas. I want you to enjoy your time off, enjoy your holidays. And again, I always, like I say to everybody out there, it's a huge pleasure to be doing this hosting of this channel, and speaking with all the fans and building up this community, and thanks to all the support, everyone that's been subscribing and joining in on the live streams and stuff. It's an absolute ball. So thank you very much. I'll be back again probably Saturday, hopefully after the game. and hopefully we get a positive result. That's it for today, guys. Make sure you hit the like before you leave, and if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button.